Hey, it's Dean, your multi-genre music man. I'm back again. I got another video for you guys. This one is the interrogation of a. It says the interrogation got a cop 20 felony charges. In the other thing I read, he did like 40 felonies in 20 days or something like that. I'm trying to read where it was. Anyway, he done like 40 different felonies in 20 days. So I'm kind of curious. It's his interrogation by another cop, so it should be good.
What happens when a good cop goes bad? Or rather, when a good cop was never good to begin with. This is a picture of Jalen Fleer in 2011, a star athlete at the time, showing a promising future in both baseball and football. And this is Jalen Fleer in 2020 in an interrogation room being confronted with some very serious allegations. How exactly does a man with such an all-American personal history, with a wife and a baby on the way, a new house, and a long career in law enforcement, end up in such a drastically different position, staring down the barrel of over 20 felonies and the end of his life as he knows it? Thanks to a San Diego County Crime Stoppers tip in early April 2020, Chula Vista, California investigators were able to narrow their focus on Fleer, uncovering multiple victims and mountains of evidence along the way. On April 30th, 2020, less than a month after the initial Crime Stoppers tip, detectives pulled Fleer into an interrogation room at the correctional facility he was employed at. It was time to confront him with the laundry list of allegations against him and to see what he had to say. This is the interrogation of Jalen.
I got a sinus infection that I'm taking meds for. It's causing me to cough every once in a while. I'm sorry.
Fleer. This is San Diego County Sheriff's Deputy Jalen Fleer, and his life is going to completely change the moment this interview begins. Just 3 weeks prior to this interrogation, an anonymous Crime Stoppers tip was submitted about some of Fleer's off-duty activities, namely his disgustingly inappropriate and very illegal behavior with some local underage girls. We'll be covering the facts and the outcome of this case, but our primary focus will be on his baseline behavior compared to his stress behavior for indicators of deception and guilt. Thanks to 5-0 Patrol for sourcing this footage, and thanks as well to the Behavior Panel for providing portions of the detailed behavioral analysis. Links to both channels are in the description. Interrogations and body language fit hand in hand to one another. Body language is more about deviations in pattern and behavior, and interrogations are about exploiting those patterns and deviations until you know if there's significance behind them or no significance. We'll interject briefly every so often to point out some specific behaviors to take note of. Keep your eyes on inappropriate and very illegal behavior.
Sorry, I just wanted to get the name of that website one more time.
We'll be covering the facts and the outcome of this case, but our primary focus will be on his baseline behavior compared to his stress behavior for indicators of deception and guilt. Thanks to 5-0 Patrol for sourcing this footage, and thanks as well to the Behavior Panel for providing portions of the detailed behavioral analysis. Links to both channels are in the description. Interrogations and body language fit hand in hand to one another. Body language is more about deviations in pattern and behavior, and interrogations are about exploiting those patterns and deviations until you know if there's significance behind them or no significance. We'll interject briefly every so often to point out some specific behaviors to take note of. Keep your eyes and ears open and see if you can catch key moments ahead of time.
This story with us, of course, in regards to the report that we're investigating. Okay. You're not under arrest and you are not being detained. Do you understand?
Yeah.
As introductions and paperwork are taking place, Fleer's hands are down, indicating a receptiveness and a willingness to converse. As soon as the actual interview begins, Fleer crosses his arms, and they will remain there for almost the entire duration of the interview. Fleer's stature when first entering the room will be considered his true baseline, but in order to better highlight his change in behavior as the interrogation progresses, we will use deviations from his arms crossed position instead.
I'm going to go ahead and read what you did initial. So you understand that you're not under arrest and you are not being detained. You understand that you're free to leave at any time. There will not be any locked doors keeping you from leaving. As you notice, that one doesn't have a lock behind you. You can choose what questions you want to answer, and you can choose to leave or let us know, and we will assist you with the exit. Although you're probably going to be the one assisting me, because I don't know my way around here.
Okay.
So you understand, like, if you, as far as like leaving, you have access points and you know how to leave and where to go.
Understand.
Very cool. So I know that I have a lot to delve into, but I really want to get to know you first, if you don't mind.
Definitely.
Okay. So I'm gonna lean back and get comfortable. Just because, are you comfortable? Do you want to take off
I'm
your
good.
duty belt?
No, I'm good.
Okay, because I understand that the duty belt gets pretty annoying pretty quickly. So if you want to take it off at any point, you
No,
let
I'm
me know.
skilled.
So of course I've done my research and investigations and everything, so I've learned a little bit about you, but I'd like to learn a little bit more. If that's okay. I found that you went to Santana High School.
I did, yes.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about your upbringing?
Yeah, so grew up Santana High School, played sports, football, baseball. Went to Grossmont College for a little bit, played baseball there. I got a job here. Worked at Dick's Sporting Goods before this, so this is my second job. So I've been working with this department for coming up on 5 years now.
So baseball seemed pretty important to you back
Yeah,
in high
baseball's-
school. What position?
Pitcher.
How's your arm holding up?
I mean, soreness every once in a while, but I haven't thrown it for a while. So.
Yeah, no, it still kills me. I played softball.
Okay, that's
So
where
I was, third, short, center, and pitcher.
you're in San Diego?
Yeah, down Hilltop Indian Valley kind of area. But I know, like, back when, I don't know if it's the same for you, but had no idea, like, about icing and massaging.
Yeah, you're not nice and stuff.
I did not, so I am paying the price
Girls
for
throwing
it.
her hand, so.
Yes, and it's brutal. I'll tell you how I'm paying for it still. But so, did you ever play any other sports in high school?
High school, no, just football, baseball.
Football, baseball.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else in school that you enjoyed doing?
You know, friends, just typical high school stuff. It's pretty sheltered from my mom, so I
Okay.
didn't get out much, but yeah, just the sports and stuff.
Okay. How come you say
Keeping me squared away, keeping me in line.
very cool? And have you always worked corrections?
Yeah, I attempted to go out to the patrol, to the academy, things didn't work out there, so getting back here.
Did you have fun at the academy while you were
Oh
there?
yeah, I enjoy it. It's good. I mean, camaraderie and stuff like that. So.
Married? How many kids?
Oh yeah, married. Recently got married this last year in September. We have a kid due on the way in August.
Oh, okay. Boy, girl.
Boy.
Very nice. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Were you like hoping for?
Oh
a
no,
girl?
I said looking forward to
Oh,
it.
looking
Yeah,
forward. I thought you
yeah.
said unfortunately. I'm
No,
like,
no,
oh,
no. No, I'm
Okay,
excited.
good.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. And your wife, how long have you known her?
Actually, preschool. Yeah, we met in preschool, went separate ways. Met her back in high school. Things like I was trying to date her, but she was playing it hard to get again. Then college came around, tried again, and actually ran into her in PB like about 3 years ago.
Okay.
And yeah, we reconnected then.
PB.
Got married, got family.
What is
Stories
PB
about your stories that go
mean?
that far back. So you guys got married just last year, already expecting baby number one. Are you still living in Santee?
Yeah.
Okay. Where are you living at?
Right across from West Hills New Community, West Community.
Okay. So you're gonna have your kid go to West Hills?
Probably, yeah, over Santana.
Are they
yeah.
viral? Are they
Rivals.
rivals?
Yeah.
It's
West
gonna be
Hills
hard.
New, so.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard combating, everybody else and doing that. So do you do anything else as far as for fun? Any do you do sports still?
We'll do softball with the guys here at work and stuff like that. And mountain bike once in a while.
How about video games, computers, anything like that? Do you ever?
Yeah, I'll play video games every once in a while and stuff like that. Not too often, watch not big on video games.
Cool. And I hear your schedule recently changed. How do you feel about the schedule
small.
change?
Yeah. 12 and a half in a row. Kills you. 7 off is nice, but it flies by, so.
Yeah, and then those 7 drag
Yeah.
once you're here. So at least you're on your last day today, right? We communicated with some of the people who were like, hey, when does he work? Thank you for meeting with us here. We obviously, given COVID, there's not a lot of places you can meet up with people right now. That's one, comfortable, gives enough space, and makes you feel like that you're not at your home or randomly out in the middle of nowhere. So.
To add to our baseline, take note of Fleer's breathing method and rate. Fleer is exhibiting little symptoms of stress, and as such, he has abdominal breathing. Body language expert and analyst Scott Rouse often says, quote, breathing comes with feeling. Humans breathe naturally by pulling the diaphragm flat, drawing air in from the abdominal region. When experiencing stress, we'll begin to do what's known as chest breathing. We'll be able to see this process take place by keeping an eye on Fleer's arms as his chest begins to move up and down, as well as a visible increase in his rate of breathing.
I know RPD is refusing to let anybody in the doors, so I can understand. How about social media? Are you active on social media at all?
Facebook and Instagram. Had Snapchat back in the day, got rid of that with my wife. Got caught in cabin and some stuff.
Can you tell me about that? Or?
It was with another recruit cabin.
Okay. So you're communicating with another recruit?
I was back in. I stopped. Everything got cut off. Got rid of. I didn't delete the Snapchat. I just got deleted the app. So I haven't used it for a year and a half now.
Okay. So on Facebook, just because I like to jot down everybody's social media when I can, what's your Facebook login? Like your username?
Just like Jalen Fleer.
It's your name?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then you said Instagram?
Instagram, yeah.
Okay. What's your Instagram username? And then you said you got rid of Snapchat, but when you did have it, what was it?
Just Jalen Fleer.
So the one that you had there, has that account since been deleted, or just
That one,
deactivated?
just delete the app. I think it's still there.
Okay. And I know when it comes to Facebook, you connect it to an email address. Do you know what email address is connected to it? And then your Instagram account with same email?
I think so.
Okay. And I know sometimes with Snapchat, they'll have you either sign up with a phone number or an email.
I believe it's my phone number.
Okay, very cool. So,
At this point, Fleer knows that they know something, and chances are he knows exactly what it's about. We can see a moment of internal focus here. His eyes are looking at something, but he's not seeing anything. At this time, take note of Fleer's mouth, his blinking rate and eye movements, and the back and forth swaying in the chair. Before we continue, a quick message from our sponsor, PTS Debt. How many of you wish there was a better solution to paying off your debt? Our sponsor, PDS Debt, has customized 0% interest options for anyone struggling with credit card. That said, back to the interrogation of Jalen Fleer.
I don't know, do you have any questions for me before I kind of...
I will ask what this is about.
Yeah, so we're looking into some allegations that were made. We're kind of, it started with a Crime Stopper report, so we're just kind of going from there. We did receive a picture that, when we looked into it, it looks similar to you. So I don't know if you can take a look at the picture and just tell me if you've seen this picture before. Oh, I have like 15 million things here. Okay.
Pulsating jaw muscles show clenching of the teeth and is a clear indicator of increased stress. It's important to note that showing signs of stress is not an indicator of guilt, but there is a clear distinction between the stress and pressure one would expect when innocent and when guilty.
So this picture right here.
Yeah, that's definitely me. The gross one.
Okay, so this picture right here, how old were you when it was taken?
20.
20? Have you ever used this picture on any social media site?
I think it was Snapchat back in the day, yeah.
Okay. Have you ever shared this picture with anybody on Snapchat?
Yeah, probably with my wife, to be honest. Obviously I talked to other girls back in the day too, but I can't remember. Right
Okay.
off the head.
If you had to guesstimate how many times you may have shared the photo, how many times?
So that one, I think just a couple times, once or twice.
Okay. So definitely to your wife.
Yeah.
Okay, so you used that photo for your wife, and you were about 20 years old in the photo. You did share it on Snapchat, and then maybe some other girl you were talking to.
I mean, yeah, this was a long time ago, so I don't really remember who it was.
Okay. Have you ever posted it as like your profile photo, or
No, that one.
ever posted on Instagram? Oh, I forgot to ask you. Are your accounts? Is your Instagram and your Facebook? Are they private?
When recalling factual information, Fleer looks to his upper left. This is known as eye accessing. It's a subconscious behavior that we do when trying to access information that we know but is not immediately recallable. Fleer's eye access behavior is almost always up and to his left.
They are.
Okay. And I know Snapchat is all private, right? I mean, you have to add somebody.
Yeah, I believe I had that. Yeah.
You can't just.
request a friend.
Yeah, you can't just be anyone. So that one's at least a little bit better, where it's like you have to actively search for somebody, right?
Fleer is now showing external indicators of stress-induced mouth wetting, lip licking and retraction, as well as lip and mouth compression.
Okay, so you in the photo, and is that a girl?
Licking your lips or pressing your lips together are both signs of stress. I know.
Response? Is that girl response?
Yeah,
Emblem?
response.
Okay, cool. That makes it very easy. So as far as like the picture, so this photo came up in connection with some allegations about you communicating with a younger female on Snapchat.
Okay.
Have you ever communicated with any females that we've already recognized that yes you have with your recruit from the past? Is there anyone else you communicate with on Snapchat?
Back then, no, just close friends and coworkers and stuff like that.
Anyone recently? Is there any reason why your phone number and email might be linked to a different Snapchat account?
No, never had a number. Just a Jalen too.
Okay, so that phone number and email wouldn't be attached to any other account. Okay. And your schedule. I know that you work every 7 days on and 7 days off. What is your wife's schedule?
She's every Friday, Saturday off on day shift, so typical 9 to 5.
Okay, so she works 9 to 5 and you work like the complete opposite schedule.
Depends. Every 3 months we rotate days and nights.
Okay. And how long have you been on nights now?
Nights now, probably a little over a month now. Yeah. Can I ask, is this something I should have lawyers on?
So right now, and I'll go over the behavior with you, we're investigating allegations that were made that you were communicating with a younger female on Snapchat and potentially some material might have been shared.
Okay.
Some photos, some images, stuff like that. So we, of course, want to be able to.
We can now see Fleer move from abdominal breathing to chest breathing, the first solid nonverbal sign of stress and pressure. Fleer is a trained officer and will actively try to retain his composure and to stay calm, but his biological instincts and reactions to stress are something that he cannot control. His blinking rate will begin to fluctuate now, and he'll have eye lock with the detectives when looking directly at them. This is partially because his instinct is to keep his eyes on the threat, the detective with the allegations, while stress hormones will lower the blink rate in order to not miss anything.
Hear what happened from your side, if that in fact did occur, or if it didn't occur, we want to obviously.
Everyone that I talked to, I mean, was about my age. I remember.
Okay. So who have you talked to?
My wife. I mean, this was back then when I had Tinder.
Fleer gestures with his hand when he brings Tinder back into the conversation. Having his hand out towards the detective with the palm facing up can be interpreted as Fleer offering the detectives a potential source of the picture's origin.
So I did meet people on Tinder and stuff. Everyone should have been older than that, though, because Tinder's 18 and up.
Okay. Did you ever meet up with anyone that you met on Tinder?
My Tinder, my ex-girlfriend, yeah. And we dated for 3 years.
Okay, what's your ex-girlfriend's name? So you met her on Tinder,
On
but
Tinder,
you
yeah.
dated for 3
Yeah.
years after
Oh.
Tinder?
So I met her on Tinder in college when I was playing baseball, and we dated about 3 years.
Well, you clearly don't know the.
Fleer now displays his first signs of mouth grooming, which is another indicator of stress. However, this could be due to excessive lip wetting, but Mouth grooming is indeed a behavioral exhibition of stress. Fleer's hands are now visible, grasping at his abdominal region. This is a common behavior for self-comfort, but look closely. His other arm doesn't match. This is an indicator that he's experiencing an internal struggle between being stressed and trying to look how you're supposed to look if you're innocent.
Concept of Tinder.
I was on Tinder. Yeah.
Okay,
Tinder.
so
Yeah.
how old were you then when you dated her?
Shoot. 20. About 20. Yeah.
And how old was she?
Same age.
Same age?
My age.
Okay. So yes, on Tinder, when you were on Tinder, and forgive me, I'm not very well versed on Tinder, do you have a username there as well?
Shoot. I might have just been Jalen or Jalen or something like that.
So J-A-Y.
Yeah, by Jalen, to be honest. J-A-Y.
Do you ever go by J?
Friends call me Jay once in a while.
Okay, so Tinder, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, any other social media sites that you've delved into or used? Right. Of course, we've spoken to obviously the other parties involved and kind of gotten some of the information. And so the reason why this particular photo was kind of brought up is because this photo was sent to this female, which is why I wonder if this photo would be in anyone else's hands.
I mean, first one being younger, no, it wasn't anyone I sent younger.
So this photo was sent within the last 3 weeks. Have you sent this
No,
photo
definitely not.
not to anyone within the last 3 weeks? Okay. And you've only shared it with a select few people.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, so.
Okay. So I want to make sure to get all the people you have shared it with, just to make sure they wouldn't try to send it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I know there's like screenshots and stuff. I don't remember that one screenshot it on Snapchat.
Yeah, because Snapchat lets you know when you're
Yeah,
screenshotting.
he'll tell you. So, that was a long time ago. So I don't know.
Okay. So you don't know who I might be able to connect with this photo as far
On
as
that one? No, that was a long time ago.
Fleer's swaying is progressively increasing in frequency and intensity. Swaying is often a sign of nervousness and is the body's effort to provide some sort of stress relief. In addition, swaying or rocking is often seen as a direct sign of discomfort, which Fleer is undoubtedly experiencing quite a bit of.
You said you've only shared it a couple times?
Yeah, I mean, just a basic photo. Save that one or anything like that.
So it was either your wife or whoever the other person you might have shared it with that might have shared the photo again? My question
I
is
doubt my wife would do that.
yeah.
And together, so that's so long.
Well, so you dated this girl for 3 years, and when you were 20, that's 23, you kindled your relationship with your wife about 3 years ago?
Like literally, it was about a month apart from my
The
ex.
other one. So you've been with her for 3 years,
Yeah.
so you like the long-term relationships.
I've always been long term.
3 to 3. All right. So, this, like I said, this photo was sent to this person, so they were in possession of it, and we can't find any connection or reason why this photo would end up with this particular person if it wasn't shared by someone you may know or yourself.
I agree, yeah. My wife would have done it, so I don't know why she was sharing it. So, I don't know. It's a long time ago. My ex, it was a bad breakup with my ex, but she wouldn't have saved something like that either. I don't know.
The detective pauses for roughly a minute from her last question. If you've paid attention to her speech and demeanor throughout the interrogation, it might seem as if they're unskilled or asking the wrong questions. Interjecting a conversation with silence is a tactic often used by interrogators to insinuate that the question hasn't been answered yet, and that they're waiting for more information. This creates an uncomfortable gap or lull in the conversation, which is often filled by the suspect continuing to divulge information. Sometimes, in an interrogation, less is more. By saying less, interrogators are hoping the suspect will inadvertently divulge more information. The detective's language and tactics aren't by mistake, but rather they're a product of years of training and design.
So, I mean, I met girls on Tinder and stuff back in the day. Yeah, some save stuff. I don't know who would save a picture like that. Who
nothing wrong with this photo, right? It's just
No,
you.
I agree. I don't know how it would get against like another person.
There were also some conversations that were exchanged between you and this person.
I don't talk to anybody younger though.
Not on Snapchat?
No,
Not recently?
not recently.
Fleer says, I haven't talked to anybody younger on Snapchat, and the detective responds with, not recently? Fleer answers, not recently, no. This is known as an accidental denial. His defensive strategy and the overall desire to deny trips him up into accidentally denying that he hasn't spoken to someone younger, quote, recently, which indicates that at some point he has spoken to someone younger. Recently is a subjective descriptor. Recently can be 1 year or 1 day, depending on the perspective or preferences of a person. Fleer's not recently response inadvertently implies guilt, or at the very minimum, implies that he has indeed spoken to someone younger on Snapchat.
Now, you said all of your social media accounts are private, right?
Yeah.
And I know you're a law enforcement officer, so I know that you've also taken the time to make your plates confidential.
I mean, back in the day, I don't think my current one.
I mean, obviously, I ran your plates. So you're still driving the Ford Fusion,
Yeah,
and is it black or gray?
it's great.
Okay. And you got tinted windows on it still?
Yeah.
And so, when it comes to the photo, I really want to understand why this person would be in possession of the photo. But the only one who could really help me with that is you.
Yeah. I can tell you that.
Well, along with the photo came some additional information about your personal life.
Okay.
And based on some of the information you shared with me today, it seems to add up.
Okay.
So is there any reason why the person would say they're you and share your information?
It sounds like it'd be someone that knows me then, obviously. I don't know who, I don't have any enemies that would be doing something like that. Can I ask what information was shared? What did they know?
We know that you're a baseball player.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people know that.
Yeah. So that information is kind of shared.
Okay.
Your work schedule.
It's been 5 years I've been working.
Specifically the transition to 7 days on, 7 days off.
Really.
Fleer is once again eye-accessing, but this time his attempt at deception is undeniable. He goes completely against his previously indicated pattern of up and to his left, and at this moment, he looks down and to his right. Remember, body language is about deviations in pattern. Fleer's eye-accessing patterns have changed completely with the response he has given.
I haven't shared anything like that recently. But I can tell you who that would be.
So let's take it back a little bit. You said you played football in high school, right? What position did you play?
I was a defensive end.
Defensive end. Did you have the same jersey the whole time you played?
My last 2 years were, B2. First 2 years changed up.
And what year did you graduate?
2011.
So, I know as an athlete, sometimes when I would do my usernames and stuff, I would kind of use a combination of my things that I know about myself, right? So that way I wouldn't forget it. So this particular picture came from an account with this username, right? J178211. Okay? And I recognize that your jersey name in college was 17,
Yes, it
and
was.
then high school was 82, and it was 11. In 2011.
I never had 11.
No, as far as you graduated in 2011.
I did, yeah.
And it goes by J, and it is a Snapchat account that has some links to you.
Okay.
Okay? Jay, I'll be very honest, I want to know the truth.
Yeah, no, I never even heard of that account.
Fleer drops his arms as it's becoming more and more aware that he will not be escaping the scrutiny. Switching from crossed arms and leaning back to having his arms uncrossed and leaning forward indicates that Fleer is listening very, very carefully. and is likely attempting to think of answers ahead of time, especially ones that will not implicate him any further.
Have you ever shared any images of your penis with anyone?
Yeah.
And how many times would you say you've done it?
A lot.
Can you kind of explain that a little bit more to me?
I mean, my wife, my ex-girlfriend, back in the day, Tinder and stuff, yeah. I'm sure you know what Tinder is. High school. Junior high, yeah.
Did you ever share any videos of you having sex with anyone?
Anyone? No, I've always had personal videos. I mean, my ex actually had one, but
What does your ex look like?
well,
So you've never shared any videos? Just still shots? Can you, I know this is kind of personal, so let me know if you get uncomfortable at all. Can you tell me what some of those images look like?
video I had, I used toys. It's awkward, but yeah, I used toys on my wife and stuff.
Can you explain the toys?
It's
She's
awkward.
your wife, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's your wife, it's intimate, we
Sounds
totally get
comfortable,
this,
yeah.
yeah.
Dildos, a vibrator. That's really it. That's all.
Okay. You and your wife haven't been in that house too long, right? When did you guys move in?
A year and a half ago.
And you guys, how many bedrooms are in the house?
4.
4. Do you guys live with anyone else?
No,
Do you guys have a master bedroom?
we do, yeah.
Can you tell me about your master bedroom?
It's just a big white room. There's nothing really special to it.
Just because it gives me kind of some insight of like,
Yeah.
you know, what your home life is like. Do you guys still sleep in the same room? That's a good marriage.
Yeah.
I say that because people have been married a long time. Obviously, you come into contact with a lot of them. Do you guys have a TV in the room?
We do, yeah.
What kind of a TV?
Just a Samsung TV.
Is it like a large room that has like one of those double door entries? I mean, that's what this house is having.
No, it's just single.
It's a single door. Any dressers?
Yeah, we have one dresser.
Can you
Actually,
just,
we have two nightstands in the dresser.
can you describe the dresser to me?
That's like a tannish brown, I guess.
Is it newer?
Somewhat, yeah. Yeah, I think.
Because you never know, like sometimes when people move in, they have like that chic style look or like the modern look. So it helps me to get an idea of what home life is like. It must be hard for you guys though, because your schedules are completely opposite.
Yeah, I mean, we still see each other at the end of the day.
So going back, and I'll give you a little bit more information, then I'll let you chat for a little bit. I don't like chatting a lot, so I already feel like I chat too much. So when it comes to the Crime Stopper that we're investigating and the Snapchat account, and of course your phone number and everything in connection with it, and some of the combinations of numbers and everything there, you can understand why obviously
Yeah, no, it's
we have a growing
it's-
concern.
It's weird.
And of course your picture's attached to it, right? Which is even more like either someone's,
Can I ask what you said you got divorced?
there were images that were shared, yes, that
Can I ask anyone? I'm sure you got them. Can I ask to see what they are?
you want to see the picture.
Yeah, so I can get an idea.
So I actually have a clear shot of one. Yeah, so I did not
Okay, I understand.
print
Yeah.
out those
Can I wait till I have
pictures.
a lawyer? Because I'm uncomfortable with this. This is weird. So,
Of course, like, you definitely have the ability to do that, and of course, you know, this is completely voluntary. And so,
I just don't want to get caught up on something. I've been working this career. I don't want to get caught up on something.
I fully understand. Yeah. So, you can, yes, 100% elect not to speak with us. You are not under arrest at this time.
Yeah, I understand.
Obviously, given the fact that we're here and the fact that we're speaking to you, I know that your bosses are going to want to speak with you afterwards. Yeah. So, we'll go ahead and allow them to speak with you after.
Okay.
Obviously, since you don't want to talk to us anymore, my partner here may have
Well, I
some.
just wanted to clarify, I have a couple of questions that
Yeah,
you
go ahead.
don't wanna answer, or can I ask you questions? Cause you can choose to answer or not answer, so if I ask you a question and you're like, I don't wanna answer that, you
Yeah,
can
no,
tell me that.
understand.
Just so that we understand, just based on, the admonishments you read, okay?
Mhm.
One of my questions was, I think I missed it, but when was the last time that you had Snapchat? Cause I know you said you deleted it, but I didn't hear when you deleted it.
I just deleted the app. I deleted that when I was in the academy.
In the academy,
Yeah.
when did you go to the academy?
It's like a little over a year ago.
A year ago,
Yeah.
so in 2019?
Yeah, right at the beginning of January.
Okay, and then, what years did you go to college at Grossmont?
2011 to about 2013, 14.
And then, I just want to make sure that we all understand each other. When my partner says, a younger female, you
Yeah.
understand that we mean someone under the age of 18?
Yeah, that's obviously why you're here.
You understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any siblings?
I have a younger sister, yeah, she's 19. 20, sorry.
Oh, okay. And then, my last question was, she was asking about the house and the decorations of your house. In any of your rooms in your house, do you have that new look where they have like the barn door, outer rail type thing? It's like a country, I don't know what you would call it. I see
Barn
it a
door,
lot
yeah.
on like
Yeah.
those DIY shows.
Yes.
Do you have those in
I
your
do have
house? Okay. That was the extent of my questions.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions? I mean, can we still ask you questions, or do you wanna stop?
No, I wanna wait because I'm uncomfortable
Okay.
with this, so.
Okay.
So, Ben, I want to thank you for
Yeah,
even
no,
taking
I-
the time to speak with me for this long. I can imagine that obviously being confronted with any level of questions can be uncomfortable, so I do appreciate that you've allowed us to speak with you even for this long. Okay, so with the next step, however, I'm going to go ahead and pull some documents here for you. So there are a few steps that we're going to be taking after this. Again, you are not being detained by us or anything, but we are acting on behalf of the court moving forward.
Okay.
Okay. So I will give you a chance to read through this. This is a search warrant that was granted this afternoon by a judge.
Okay.
The warrant does allow us to grab some DNA swabs from you,
Okay.
as well as any mobile devices that might be in your possession or potentially in your locker. Do you have your personal phone with you here?
I do have them. Yeah.
Is it inside your locker?
It's on the person right now.
Okay, so if you want to go ahead and hand it to us, we definitely don't need to go in and grab it from you.
Okay.
But the search warrant does require that we take it from you.
Okay.
Okay. Additionally, it does allow us to have access to your vehicle.
Okay.
Is your vehicle parked here?
It's parked a few blocks away.
Do you remember exactly?
It's over across from Cat's Pizza over there.
Cap's Pizza?
Yeah.
And is it like in a parking
It's in a parking lot.
Okay. Is it like one of those paid parking lots?
Yeah.
Okay, so Cap's Pizza. Put a note on that. So the warrant does allow for us to also process your vehicle.
You guys are gonna take my vehicle?
No, we're going to process it here. So
Okay.
that we actually have someone here that's going to help us take some pictures and just go ahead and do what needs to be done so we don't have to.
Okay.
We recognize that warrants are a part of our job, but we don't like to inconvenience people unnecessarily.
Yeah.
So that's why we actually brought our technician with us here, because we obviously want to take your DNA with the least effort possible. So that's why we're using the swabs. And the same goes for, of course, your phone, which you stated is on your person. We don't want to put hands on if we don't have to.
You know, I understand.
Obviously,
I'll give it up.
like you said, as a law enforcement officer, you're willing to comply. With that being said, after that, we will also have access to your locker. Are your vehicle keys inside your locker?
My vehicle keys are in my vehicle right now.
They're in your vehicle?
Yeah.
So you have a code?
I have a code.
Okay. Would you mind sharing that code with us?
I will have a lawyer say no to that.
Well, the warrant allows for us to have access to your vehicle.
Okay. Yeah, so
Otherwise
you
we'll
bring
get
it.
towed
Yeah.
out.
That's fine. Yeah, I'll give it up to you.
I'll jot it down. Thank you.
I don't know the number. I know the
Would it help if you drew the keypad?
yeah.
Do you want to draw the keypad?
Yeah.
I'm the same way, so.
It's my So
1,
it's
2, 3,
straight, it's
4,
straight
5.
down. So 1, 2, 3, then back to 2, and down to 5.
Okay. So they're just basically.
It's
so
straight
is it
down.
like this? Or the buttons like this?
Yeah, there's a few more down, but I don't touch those the first 3. 1, 2, 3, up,
So 1, 2, 3,
and back to 2, and then
2, and then this
3.
3. Okay. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 2, 3.
Yeah, should be up.
1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Okay. Wonderful. And just for the warrant that you see here, just verifying, of course, this is your name, this is your date of birth. You recognize that you're approximately 6'4", you're not very tall. And then we just use your approximate weight there. And I know you have more blondish reddish hair,
Yeah.
but we went with your GL, and just if you know your GL number, we can verify that.
Yeah.
As you see here, it does state here that we have premises as well to enter your home at 8621 Chaparral Way.
Okay.
So we are going to attempt to do this in the quickest way possible and the way that is obviously going to, this can't be an easy process, we recognize that. And we don't, yes.
Okay.
Is your mom at your house right now?
She's not.
Okay. Your wife, she is at home?
She's at home.
Okay. Is it just your wife at home?
Just my wife.
Okay. And her name is? Okay.
We won't be sending any black and whites over to the house.
No.
Okay.
Just so that.
Is it going to be tonight right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So we're going to do this kind of systematically. The very first thing that we will do is, of course, the swab and the phone.
Yeah.
Do you have any other USB drives,
I don't.
anything like that on your person? I know sometimes for work we carry a
No, I have a USB in my locker, but that's just a work locker USB.
Okay. So we'll get that started.
Okay.
And then after that, we know that your employers want to speak with you. Again, you're investigating allegations. They
Yes.
recognize that, but of course, you know, they have to take their action. We can't speak to that, but of course, they obviously want the opportunity to speak with you. Then, of course, we'll process the locker and then process your vehicle.
Okay.
And again, we'll do it systematically and as quickly as we can to alleviate any additional stresses that this already is causing. And then we'll go ahead and go to your home, and we hope to be in and out fairly quickly.
Okay. I guess I'm staying here. I'm not going with you guys or anything like that.
So no, you are not in custody. You are not under arrest. You are not even being detained. That's why you had the right to stop speaking with us at any time. There's no locks on the door. You had the opportunity to leave if you choose to. And like I said, thank you for speaking to us as long as you did. So if you have any questions, we are here. If it's okay with you, I'm just going to grab my lab technician to start that.
Okay. That's fine.
And where is your cell phone on you?
It's on my person right now.
Can we go ahead and set that for me? Do you have?
So you guys are going to keep my phone?
Do you have any other, as far as your phone, yes, yes, for sure. I don't want to break your phone, and sometimes when we access it without your code, it could, who knows. So is it possible for us to get your code?
You guys would break my phone?
No, I'm just saying they will get into it like hard eyes, and I don't want to cause any damage to the phone if it's unnecessary.
You don't have my phone. I'd rather say no to that. No. I'll have a lawyer for this.
Oh.
Swipe down so you can put it in.
This is like a battery case?
Yeah, it's just extra battery.
Do you want to keep that? Does it come off pretty easily?
Yeah, I can take it off.
Oh, sorry. Is that how we take it off? Yeah, it's an iPhone.
What kind of iPhone is it?
C10.
iPhone what?
X10.
Is it the original or is
The
it
original
one of
X.
the-
Yeah, well, there's no need to take it. The battery
And
case.
is it updated with the latest iOS, whatever?
Should
they
be, yeah.
send out?
It should be updated.
Okay, so, do you have any questions as far as the warrant? Because I'm going to bring my lab technician in here so she can go ahead and guide you through it.
I don't have any questions.
Okay. And I'm going to keep the body worn camera and everything.
That's
on,
fine.
okay?
Do you have any other phones, like a department issued cell
I do,
phone or
no.
anything like that?
No.
So Jay, this is here. She's working with us, so she'll assist in just gathering the swab.
Okay.
You don't look very happy, does he? Getting news like that would make you pretty upset.
Chula Vista law enforcement gathered mouth swabs and executed their search warrants on Fleer's phone, locker, car, and home. He was placed on desk duty with no contact with the public pending the results of the investigation. Investigators would gather mountains of evidence, and furthermore, results showed that the DNA samples matched. Following a short month-long investigation, Fleer turned himself in and was subsequently arrested and charged with more than 20 felonies. The criminal complaint filed named 4 victims, listing the graphic crimes that occurred from March 27th and April 8th, 2020, and stated that Fleer contacted his victims through Snapchat. In court, prosecutors said that Fleer contacted 41 different young girls, some as young as 9 years old. Fleer initially pleaded not
Sick
guilty
bastard.
to all charges. Court documents would show that Fleer had asked multiple young girls, quote, "Do you have any younger friends who are interested in older men? I'll give you money to hook me up with them. The younger they are, the better." Fleer sent photos of himself in uniform to the victims and coerced them into giving their addresses to him. They were scared, and they thought they couldn't report it to the police, because he was the police. Fleer would eventually change his plea to guilty. He stared straight ahead and showed no emotion during sentencing when the judge stated, quote, "I have never seen a more despicable set of facts as I've seen in this case. The intensity of this is what's just mind-boggling. Reading about the 41 other girls who were contacted just makes this case look that much more devastating and despicable." End quote. On June 28, 2021, Jalen Fleer was sentenced to 12 years in state prison with no opportunity for parole, and will have to register as a sex offender for the rest of his life. Jalen Fleer is currently incarcerated at the Corcoran, California State Prison, where he will remain for the rest of his sentence.
It's lucky it ain't the rest of his life. A lot of times the younger the girl, the harder the punishment. And with that many girls, he's lucky he didn't get 40 to 80 years. It could have been the rest of his life. Hopefully you liked this video. If you did, hit the like button, share on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Don't forget to ring the bell if you haven't already, so you can be notified of any new videos or when I go online. And please subscribe. That's about it. Other than that, this is Dean saying I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you on the next video. Have a good day.